Every morning, the countdown begins for the markets with meticulous research and analysis designed to help you capitalize on the trading day. Beaming live from the CNBC TV 18 Motilal Oswal studio.
Good morning. You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Bazaar Morning Call. We are coming to you live from the CNBC TV 18 Motilal Oswal studios. It's a Tuesday morning. It's an all-boys show today. Surabhi is out of action for today. That is, Mangalam is with us. And, of course, my colleague Nigel, guys. Hi, morning.
Hi, morning.
Morning. It's the weekly options expiry. We've done well over the last few trading sessions. And we also have Nigel, who's the senior editor at CNBC TV 18. Nigel, congratulations, man.
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
An honor and a lot of pleasure working with you alongside, multiple shows that we've done, a lot of interviews, etc. You deserve it.
Well, thanks a lot, Mangalam. Feels good to be here. It's been thanks for being part of the journey and the process. 15 years is a long time, and I've thoroughly enjoyed myself here in the CNBC TV 18 studio. So thank you, everyone, for your support.
Onwards and upwards.
Thank you so much.
Onwards and upwards, always.
All right. Well, let's just take it from the top then in terms of where we stand with regards to the price action, right? Another record high, basically, is what you had. S&P, Nasdaq, Russell 2000, all indices really, powering up. I mean, it's kind of felt very squeezy, if I can put it that way, because if you just look at the last 3-4 sessions, sharp moves higher, very, very, actually, it's not narrow. It used to be narrow, just about 5-7 stocks, but, it's the tech names, the AI names which are doing well. It's the, a lot of the so-called meme stocks are doing very well. It's kind of, feels like a repeat deja vu of, back in 2021, right? Of course, you didn't have that big AI-led theme, which is the big driver of what we're seeing out there. But it's very specific segments, and it's mostly all sort of converging around tech and AI, one way or the other. The big story from last night, of course, is the AMD stock jumping 24%, was up 30% at one point. They've unveiled a massive computing deal with OpenAI. And OpenAI, by the way, is going to buy chips to set up infrastructure worth about some 6 gigawatts or so. And it's kind of the first direct challenge to the industry dominance of NVIDIA. So far, it was all about NVIDIA's GPUs powering this entire AI infrastructure build-out. And now you've got OpenAI, which is, of course, spending the most amount of money in this, AI supercycle, tying up with another company, which is AMD. All right. Well, Tesla was the other one, 5.5% last night. Social media postings by Tesla hinting at a possible product unveiling. Maybe later today, we'll find out. But stock was up sharply. On macro markets, not very much. 10-year yield about 4 basis points higher. Oil prices about 1.5, back at about 65.5, 60. Just above 65.5 or so is where we kind of left off at. So that's the global backdrop, the global setup as we begin this particular session, which is positive, which is, of course, been almost unchanged for the last couple of days. It's tech and AI one way or the other. Now I'll come to an important event here in Mumbai. The Global FinTech Fest kicks off in Mumbai. It starts today. We, of course, will get you extensive coverage, lots of interviews from there. And, of course, it's a 3-day event, and Prime Minister Modi is going to be here in Bombay day after tomorrow on the 9th, and he'll be speaking at the Global FinTech Fest. I mean, it's kind of become a marquee event. Lots of global participants also come down for this. And it's an extensive lineup, and our colleague Ritu will be reporting from there, conducting many of the interviews, and we'll give you a sense of what's lined up from there. Markets here have been doing a little better. There was a rally yesterday as well, started last Wednesday. Thursday was a holiday, and then, of course, continued on Friday and picked up yesterday. And we've crossed now on the Nifty the 50% retracement of the prior fall. The next major resistance is the 61.8% retracement of the fall, the full fall, which is 25,120. And the support stands at 24,884. So that's the next sort of stop as far as the Nifty is concerned. You're basically back at the upper end of that range, which we were not able to take out the last time around. Bank Nifty gave a bullish crossover yesterday. That's closed above the 61.8% retracement of the entire fall. It's looked better for the Nifty Bank as compared to the Nifty. The next upside level is 56,528. Supports come in at the 20 hourly and 40 hourly exponential average, 55,624 and then 55,380 are those two numbers, those two levels. Gift Nifty will give you a quick sense of how we're likely to start. We'll pick it up from there. 4.5 point change. So quiet start, but can we build up from where we left off yesterday is the question. How's the F&O sort of setup looking like? Nigel is here with exactly that. Nigel, over to you.
Well, Prashant, this quiet start may not be so bad, right? But I'll tell you what, it's weekly expiry that will play out. So the end may not be so quiet. We could see some kind of volatility picking up towards the end of trade. And the good part is on a day-to-day basis, we've been making higher highs, and that's why, in fact, the bulls will be feeling good. But one positive is the FI is selling, right? It's come down from around 3,000 crores, or it came down to around 1,500 crores, and now it's come down to around 300 crores. Are we on the verge of them turning, the corner? Can we see FI net buy numbers? Just looking at the pattern, that could be a strong hope, going by the kind of reduction we have seen in their selling. So that's an important cue. Besides that, for the Nifty on the whole, well, we did see a good bounce, but the Nifty Bank, that's actually taken leadership yet again. And in yesterday's trading session, there was a bit of a short covering bounce that did play out because the Nifty Bank was bursting away and the open interest was down close to 3.5%. But the FIs, they've reduced selling in the cash market. However, the big short covering is yet to take place. Because in the last few trading sessions, the Nifty is up close to around 400 points approximately, but you have seen that they continue to add some short positioning. And now the short positioning is reaching that 1.98 lakh contracts. In percentage terms, we're at extreme levels at around 93%. So if you can build on the momentum, these shorts are going to get squeezed out. Even in percentage terms, actually, that number should come up for you on the screen. One heartening aspect, though, from the FI positioning is that they have continued writing puts. For the last 3 trading sessions, we have consistently seen that the number of puts that have been written are more than the number of calls. And that's why the PCR now has moved up. Remember, it had moved down to that bottomed out levels just last week at around 0.63. Now we're at around 1.33. So it's gradually moving towards the upper end, which is at around 1.6 or thereabouts. Remember, these contracts expire today. So tomorrow the PCR will readjust itself. And the reason that the PCR has moved up is because put writing, massive put writing is what we are seeing. 24,950 put, 25,000 put. Between them, massive amount of open interest build up is what we have seen. So let's get straight to the levels. Now, the Nifty has been making higher highs, as I mentioned earlier, but you'll want it to make a higher low. So in that case, you have a reference point coming out here. This is yesterday's low. So the 24,880 mark, that's your first level of support. On the upside, the 61.8% retracement is at around the 25,120 odd mark. And we had some call action yesterday at around the 25,200 mark. So that's the important resistance zone that you're looking at. The Nifty Bank has been in a world of its own. But on the downside, that 55,700 mark, you'll want that to get defended because of 2 factors. It's yesterday's low, it's the 100 DMA. That's been leading the way. It will have to continue to do so. So FI net selling reducing, and now that short covering bounce is still due, the bulls will be fancying their chances to drive up higher from here on.
All right, Nigel, thanks a lot for that. So those are a bunch of levels that we have to watch out for on the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. Importantly, what you're going to do is also watch out for a couple of these consumer discretionary names. I've been looking at a lot of these second quarter updates that have come in. Nykaa did well yesterday, ended at the high point of trade. We saw some traction in a lot of these travel and tourism names as well. Case in point, Latravenues Tech or Yatra Online. And because it is festive season, because e-commerce is doing extremely well, we've seen early trends of that come by in the Amazon sale as well as the Flipkart sale. All of that tells you that delivery has moved higher as well. That stock went about 6% in yesterday's trading session. What's not doing well are some of these consumer staples. So to that extent, Dabur as well as Godrej Consumer second quarter update would be extremely crucial to track. But back to the global markets, the Asian markets, we have the Japanese index hitting a fresh record high this morning once again and continues to do so.